Just a quick demonstration of how threads work and why you want to make sure that you don't over tighten them. This is a cutaway from a sprinkler valve so that you can see a little bit better what the threads are doing. Also, when you do thread, you want to make sure you don't cross thread. Cross threading means the threads are going in crooked. So what they're actually doing is biting more on one side than the other. It'll wind up stripping it out, and it's obviously going to leak, and it's not going to fit together well, and most likely fail anyway. So you want to make sure that you thread them in straight. But what happens with threads, you can see if I only get there in a little bit, or in a little ways, you can see there's a little bit of wobble to it. Well, the reason for that is because these are tapered. This shaft right here is drilled so that it's tapered in, and the end of this is also tapered, this nipple. If I was to take a piece of pipe and set it beside it, you can see right here there's a little bit of a gap right at the end where the threads are at. Now if I was to take this and pitch it so that it goes down that gap, you can see how much it actually tapers. It doesn't look like it when you're looking at the nipple, but there is a taper to it. And the reason for that is so that as you tighten this, it's actually tightening these threads against the edge or the sidewall. That's also why you don't want to over tighten, because as that pitch goes in, and this one as well, they're actually creating an outward pressure, which is going to force this fitting outwards, which could also cause this to be broken. Anyway, as you tighten up, it gets tighter, tighter, and tighter. Once you get it tight enough, there is absolutely no movement in this section right here. I mean, I shouldn't say absolutely, I'm sure there's some, but not that we can see visibly. And that's what causes it to seal, is because it's designed so that these threads, if I come closer to the camera, it's designed so that when these threads interlock, as they get tighter and tighter, closer together, they eliminate the gap between them, so the water can't come out through the threads. That's the design. Now the reason that you use Teflon is as a lubricant, so that this can be tightened down all the way, and it can also be used to fill some of the gaps, because if there's impurities in here, or sand or something, or like for example this is a little offset because it's a molded nipple, that could be an issue. That's a good reason why, well, you should use Teflon anyway on anything that's pressurized, just so that you can make sure it seals. But when you use Teflon in a situation like this, let's see what it looks like as we thread this in. You'll start to see the Teflon will start to crush. It winds up turning darker purple. This one is a purple version, and it's going to probably cut a little bit of it off here, but just because I've got this away. But it starts to crush the Teflon, and what it does is it fills those little gaps inside of there, so that you wind up getting a nice seal, just because of the design of the two, and the fact that the Teflon is creating a lubricant so that it can slide in there smoothly and not have anything between the edge of the fitting and the pipe itself. So what it winds up doing is, as it goes down in, it just completely fills in these gaps, especially down here at the bottom. The top is also important, but down here at the bottom is where you're actually maintaining your seal.